The first game is a game called Silver and Gold, and this is a game that we've had for quite a while. It's just been sitting on the shelf, and for some reason we just haven't played it. And it's by Phil Walker Harding, so of course one of Australia's great designers. And Silver and Gold is a roll and write. It's only 2 to 4 players, which is interesting for a roll and write. Usually they play a bigger number than that, but that's because everyone's going to start with a little scorecard, and what you're going to be doing is drafting different cards that have spaces for polyomino tile shapes or Tetris pieces. And what you're going to be doing is, throughout this game, we're going to be revealing one card at a time that has a polyomino shape on it, and everybody gets to draw that shape on one of the 2 cards that they have in front of them. The idea is that you're trying to complete those cards, and there were victory points, which is denoted on each of the cards. And so there are smaller areas that are worth a lower amount of victory points when you complete them, or you can be really, ambitious and get the cards that have more space to cover, but they're worth more victory points at the end of the game. There's some other little twists as well. So if you use a piece and you're drawing it with your pen onto these cards, if you cover a coin, you're going to be collecting coins, and it's a little bit of a race in that every time you collect four coins, you get to have a trophy, but the trophies go in descending order. So if someone claims the top trophy, the next person has to get the next trophy, and so on. So you're trying to have this race collecting coins. There's little palm trees, and when you cover those, they give you bonus points depending on what's in the market at the time, the number of palm trees in the market at the time. And the other little fun component is that there's little X's. And if you use a polyomino shape and you cover one of the little X's, it gives you a bonus X or a bonus square that you can cross out. And that has a fun like comboing effect, because you can be like, oh, extra one. Oh, I might cross off another X. Oh, extra one. But the whole idea of the game is really to get as many victory points by the end of the game. Some cards also give you bonuses for collecting a certain type of card. So it might give you, for example, 2 extra victory points at the end of the game for every orange card that you have collected. And so it's just a little twist to collect more bonus points. The game plays over 4 rounds, and in each round, you're going to go through all of the deck of polyomino cards, minus 1.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
and
7.
so the one that's taken out means that you can't exactly card count, but you do know what's in the rest of the deck, and that's illustrated in front of you. And so you can get a sense of, well, okay, there's only one more round, which means this many pieces, and how ambitious should I be collecting new cards, and what am I going to be able to get done? Super simple game, really straightforward. You could teach it probably in a minute and get it to the table really easily with gamers and non-gamers alike. I really enjoy it. I think it's just super easy breezy.
I think it's
late
probably
at night.
one of the most, if not the most accessible flip and write game that I've come across that is still kind of engaging, because we've played other flip and writes or roll and writes sometimes. I'm like, oh, this is really simple, but there's a couple of kind of either they're very simple but they're not as engaging, or they're simple but they've got a couple of tricky kind of rules that, whereas this is like, I can see myself playing this with like non-gamers, with parents, if they kind of come around for something.
Traveling.
If you're traveling.
I actually think
easy.
that because it's so easy, it's a really great one to have on hand. I think I might at some stage pick up a second copy, because I think it would be really easy to turn it into, obviously, an 8-person game. It's just that you need the extra scoring cards, and probably some of the actual cards that you're drawing on as well, if there's 8 people.
So you'll go through them.
But I think this would be a really easy one, a good one for me to take to work, for example. It says the game takes 20 minutes. I think that's probably pretty accurate. 20 minutes, half an hour, no longer than that.
It feels pretty quick, actually, as you're playing through it. My one thing with this is the theme. I was like, I'm playing, so the theme, you're meant to be like, out looking for treasure, and so the cards are meant to represent the islands, different islands. So you're going out to, and so you're kind of trying to cover the entire island to check for treasure. And I'm imagining, I'm doing a lot of reaching here because it's
very abstract.
Very abstract. I couldn't really understand what like why palm trees would give you more points. I don't think it really matters. But yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, I wish there was some kind of theme logic.
But it's a really quick and easy one to get to the table. No
Yeah,
time to immerse ourselves in story, just drawing Tetris pieces.
Yeah.
But in terms of if you like polyomino tiles and you're looking for something really light, this would be a great addition to your collection. I think the pens that come with it are excellent.
They really are.
For such a small game, they are such high quality pens.
The one thing that it doesn't have that I wish it did is
an eraser.
An eraser or something. And also, when you first see the cards, you're like, are these cards that I'm meant
Can
to
I draw on these?
Yeah, put marker on.
It's
but
fine.
then,
It works.
we just used tissue, like just a tissue paper, and it came off beautifully. So yeah, great pens.
Great pens.
Pretty cool.
So that is silver and gold.
Yeah.
And that's one of our games for this week.